Good afternoon, everyone, and from wherever you are watching us from here in Kenya, welcome to Y254, the touchline. It is that day that everybody waits for the sports weekend to come on board, and it is a week where we are going to tell you everything that has been happening from the UEFA Champions League. Cristiano Ronaldo's red card was a thing to talk about, but Manchester United also bounced back to get a win against the Young Boys. But it's not a team that they can go ahead and win. At 2:30, Fulham versus Watford will be starting our English Premier League, but that will be later on for the fan zone. Our main interview today is all about the Concour de Elegance that will be happening on the 30th of September. That will be next Sunday at the Ngong Racecourse. So for everyone who has been waiting for the touchline here today, it's that time we get into our main conversation, and we are lucky today that we have a bike that not many of us have seen it in our lifetimes, but today we are going to see it here today. So it's all about the Concour de Elegance, and I'm happy to introduce the people in studio here with me, and I've got to start with Tumaini Muthiga with his Harley Davidson 1999 bike. How are you, Muthiga?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome to Y254.
Thank you very much.
Man, you have a nice machine.
Thank you very much.
And then we have the chairman, Alfa Romeo's club, Mr. Peter Wanday. Peter, another year, here we are.
Thank you very much for having us in studio once again.
Yes.
As you say, one more year down the road. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are expecting new cars on board to come on board this time round.
Very many new entries.
Yes.
Entries making an appearance for the first time, both cars and motorcycles.
Yes.
It's going to be a great day, an exciting day.
We will be dwelling into that in just a moment. And also we have got a rally driver in the house today, Imran Khan. Welcome to Y254, Imran.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually a rally navigator and a rally driver as well. I drive for fun, but navigation is something I do seriously.
Yes.
Yes.
For you have entered a Porsche 911.
In fact, we've entered two Porsche 911 rally in the rally car category.
Yes.
One is currently being driven by Aslam Khan in the Classic Championship and was driven in the East African Classic.
Yes.
And also for Rob Link, we've entered two cars as a team.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
LS
going
team.
to be a big event on Sunday, and we'll just go to you, Peter, and actually ask, what are the people going to expect on Sunday?
Well, as you know, the CBA Africa Concour de Elegance is the classiest event on the Kenya Motorsports calendar.
Yeah.
It is a day that attracts upwards of 10,000 spectators at the Ngong Racecourse. And the centerpiece of the event is a judging of 77 this year actually, vintage and classic cars, as well as 40 vintage and classic motorcycles.
Yes.
But it's not just about these vintage and classic machines. We also have other attractions on the day. There is a classic car sale. If anybody is interested in purchasing a classic car,
Yes.
either for parts or for future restoration, or even a ready classic car for participation in future events, they can look there. We have the motor trade section, we call it the Auto Expo,
Yes.
where we have the motor dealers in this country, dealers in motor vehicles and accessories, who are there also to showcase what they have, some new vehicles in the market. We have a motor clubs section, a couple of motor clubs who come there to tell spectators what their clubs are all about.
Yes.
And we have the Heritage Collection, which is a collection of old pieces of equipment,
Yes.
mostly related to motoring.
Yes.
So it takes you back into kind of motoring heritage.
Yeah.
But above all, we also have the Brookhouse Kids Zone, because the Concour is actually a family event. So those who are planning to come to the event should not worry about leaving their children behind. It's a Sunday. We appreciate that it's a family day. So we have everything for everyone. And the Brookhouse Kids Zone is a fully fledged entertainment center for children. It's fully manned, so any adult who comes with a child and wants to leave their children to enjoy the kids' activities while the adults wander about and partake of whatever else is around the show, this is a fully manned kids zone.
Yes.
And other attractions include things like the flying past, we have a parachute drop, so there's a lot on the day.
As we go on to be dwelling on with what will be happening on the 30th of September, let's first listen into the preamble of the Concour de Elegance, and we'll be right back with this conversation. That is what you'll be expecting on Sunday. That's just a sneak preview of what you'll be expecting on Sunday. But here in studio, we have got one machine that is going to be, we are going to get the history of this machine because will be competing at the Concour de Elegance. Mr. Muthiga, thanks a lot for bringing the Harley Davidson here. How old is this bike, first of all?
This is a 1999 Harley Davidson. It's a Harley Davidson Software Deluxe.
Yeah.
From the US.
Ah.
Yes.
What do you love about this Harley Davidson?
First of all, just the name, yeah. You know,
the name itself.
The Harley Davidson is a brand name that
Yes.
has been in existence for many years.
Yes.
And it has proven to be one of the best bikes in the world. When I'm on this thing, first of all, the sound on it, yeah, it's from stock. I don't know.
Yes.
At some point, you'll allow me to start it to listen to the sound.
Yes.
When riding it, I have other bikes, but
Yes.
this is one of my favorite piece because one, the stability on the road, then the power on the engine, because it's a 4-stroke with a 1650 cc.
Wow.
On the engine. On it.
Yes.
Yes. So the stability on the road and the presence when you're riding. The comfortability of the bike.
Yes.
There is that safety. Much as we say bikes are not that safe, but with this, I always feel like
You're safe.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that's one of the machines that you'll be seeing at the Concours de Elegance. They entered in the motorcycle category.
Yeah.
Yes. And Mr. Peter, how many categories do we have for the cars and also for the bikes that will be happening on Sunday at the Concours?
We have a total of 23 classes, as we call them. 14 are car classes and the rest are motorcycle classes. Yeah.
Wow. Imran, for you have entered in the rally category. How good is your machine, the Porsche 911?
As a rally car,
Yes.
it's an amazing rally car. It's won the East African Classic 3 times. It won the Top Fry Classic, the Porsche name.
Yes.
As for our car, it's built by initially built by Turtle Porsche, which one of our cars is built by Turtle Porsche, which built Bjorn Waldegaard's winning Porsche for 2011 and 2013.
Yes.
Our second car, we decided to actually build it in Kenya, and it's 100% built in Kenya as a rally car from a standard car, and we proved to the world that we could actually take a Kenyan-built car and finish our greatest rally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peter, well, earlier before we came on set, we were talking about the Concour d'Elegance, and you brought in the word pilgrimage of the motorsport people. If you have to give us a brief history of the Concour d'Elegance, because there are many people, everybody will be wondering, what is this event in the motorsport calendar that is not a racing event? Just give us a sneak preview of the history of the Concour d'Elegance, from way back when it started, and also how was here in Kenya.
Okay, the Concour d'Elegance is actually a French name, which simply means, or can simply be translated in English to mean a parade of beauty.
Yes.
And the history of the Concours goes back to the 17th century in Paris, France, where the aristocrats back then in that country would parade their horse-drawn carriages on a bright, sunny Sunday in the in the summer months. And towards the end of the 19th century, when motor vehicles, when the automobile was launched, the horse-drawn carriages were replaced by automobiles. And successively thereafter, the whole theme of Concour d'Elegance took root all over the world. And today there are several Concour events all around the world. In Kenya, we have had this event since 1971. The Alfa Romeo Owners Club was established in 1970. And to celebrate the first anniversary, the club thought, why not have Concour d'Elegance as a theme for the celebration? And the first Concour was born. And it has been an annual event ever since. This year will be the 48th annual event. It has never failed to be held every year since then. The first 10 years, the Concour was exclusively open to Alfa Romeo Owners Club. To Alfa Romeo cars, because it was a club event. But after 10 years and the event growing, it was felt that perhaps it should be an event for or a Concour for all makes of cars like elsewhere in the rest of the world. So in the 11th year, it was opened up to other makes of cars. And thereafter, after about 20 years, it was also opened up to motorcycles. So today we have, it's a competition basically of all makes of cars and motorcycles. The minimum age for a motor vehicle to compete in this event is 15 years. For motorcycles, we're a bit lenient. It's 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because this one is pre-2000, 1999.
This is made in 1999, so that makes it what, 20, just under 20 years, 19 years.
19 years. Mr. Muthiga, you are going for the motorcycle category. Do you have anybody you already know? Because last year it was won by the South Africans. We had the heavyweight boxer from South Africa coming in second. This time around, do you think Kenya will have it, what it takes to take it on?
There is a gentleman that I have participated in the concours now. This will be my 5th year. There is a gentleman called Sati.
Yes.
Sati has always amazed us. And he is one Kenyan that Kenyans should look out to, because he always has a surprise under his wing. So that is one guy I respect in the motorcycle world. Yeah, because it's only last year I didn't participate in the motorcycle. I didn't, but the other years I've always had a motorcycle in the event.
Wow. Imran.
Just to give Tumaini some hope and confidence, Sati is not taking part in the event this year.
Okay.
So you can be confident that you are there. Imran, for you in the rally car, will you be going against? And do you think your Porsche has what it takes to win?
In the past, we've won the concours in the rally car category with our Ford Escort and with our Porsche.
Yes.
This year, we're fairly confident until we saw the entry list.
Yes.
And there's a brand new built classic rally car as well, which is coming to the event. It'll be nice to see, because when you get a new winner, you always know that you got to up the standard again.
Yes.
And for rally cars, for us, we always keep rallying our cars. They do up to 10, 12,000 kilometers of Africa under them before they go to the concours. So there is a gentleman's agreement we also have in the rally car category that our cars are also put through the terrain of Africa.
Yeah. Will Ian Duncan be there? He has a Ford also.
Not in the rally car category.
No, he's not taking part in the rally car category
Yeah,
this year.
for him is in the classic.
Actually, he's not taking part at all.
Wow, I was waiting to see that one again this year. Tickets on sale. Where can people find the tickets? Because I know on Sunday at Ngong Road, everybody will be heading to the race course. Where can they get the tickets early enough?
Tickets are already on sale. Advanced tickets are already on sale. You can buy physical tickets at any branch of CBA Bank in Nairobi and Thika,
Yes.
or at the Sarova Panafric or Sarova Stanley Hotel. But one can also go online on ticketsasa.com. It's the easiest way really to purchase an advance ticket.
Yes.
And advance tickets are discounted. The cover price is 1,000 shillings for an adult and 500 shillings for a child.
Yes.
At the gate, it will be 1,200 and 600 respectively. So I would encourage anybody who wants to attend the event to purchase an advance ticket. It will be discounted, and it's easy to go online and purchase a ticket.
Yeah.
And let me also just appreciate the support of Commercial Bank of Africa. Like I said, this event is in its 48th edition.
Yes.
And for the 8th year in a row, it has been sponsored by Commercial Bank of Africa,
Yes.
CBA. And we are really grateful for that support.
Yeah.
CBA have helped us to grow this event in the last 8 years to tremendous heights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Muthiga,
Yes.
what do you expect on Sunday?
One, it will be a very busy day for me because I have 3 other entries of cars.
Wow. So this is not the only one, the only category you are in.
No.
Which other cars do you have, and in which categories are you in?
I have under 1000 cc category, then I have above 3000 cc category, and I have 1800 cc category.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it will be a very big, good day for you. Imran, for you, you are only in the rally category, and what will you be expecting on Sunday?
Yes, we'll only be in the rally category. We expect it to be a fun day. Rally category is always interesting because for once you don't just see the car on TV. The fans get to see the cars very close and personal. They get to ask us a lot of questions on how they can start rallying.
Yes.
And we also answer a lot of questions to a lot of fans of what equipment the car has, how safe are we in case of a crash, or so we do get to meet our fans, and we're actually looking forward to meeting them.
What does it take to prepare a rally car to come? Because you have from racing, the car is racing, and also you're preparing it for racing. What steps do you take on making it be fit for the competition like this one? Because for this one, it's all about how you're maintaining your machine and how good it is.
In rallying,
Yes.
we look for reliability. We look for reliability and how fast the car goes. When it comes to the concours, there is an element of reliability, but the aesthetics have to now start looking good. So what we've always ignored when we're rallying, we now have to look further into it. We have to make sure the car is very clean because we get judged on cleanliness.
Yes.
And we have to make sure wherever the paint has chipped, and you know, rally car goes through a lot, so we got to do a lot of aesthetic maintenance on it for concours.
Peter, the new entrants this year, because last year we had people from South Africa, are we getting anyone from overseas? And what are they bringing?
Well, it's all the competitors this year from all around Africa. We have 2 motorcycles from South Africa. These are bikes that have not been seen in this event before.
Yes.
There's a 1964 AJS Cafe Racer and a 1970 Honda CB750.
Yes.
These are both quite elegant bikes. Closer home, we have the first ever entry from car entry from Rwanda. We have had entries from Rwanda, but they were motorcycles. But this time we have a car entry from Rwanda.
Yes.
And it's quite an elegant entry. A 1970 Buick Riviera, 7 liters, 7,000 cc.
Wow. That's
under
a
the
big
hood.
one, right?
That's
Yes.
quite a monster. So
Yeah,
that's going to be
yes.
quite an attractive entry.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have a number of entries from Uganda, both cars and motorcycles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our friends from Uganda usually come here for the Concour de Elegance, and they usually have classic cars that they bring them on board. But the big one will be, which is the oldest car in the category so far, and have you closed now for and ready for the event?
Yes, entries have closed. Entries closed last Wednesday. So now we're in the final stages of the preparations.
Yes.
The oldest car this year will be a 1928 machine.
Yes.
Actually, we have 4 cars made in 1928.
Wow.
One is a Fiat, and you know Fiat's quite rare cars.
Yes.
Another one is an International, and the other 2 are Fords.
Yes.
On the motorcycle side, the oldest motorcycle, which will also be the oldest machine on the day,
Yes.
is a 1925 Triumph motorcycle.
Oh, that's a big one. I've never seen that one, and I have to come to the event and say that one. Finally, as we are finishing, tell us everything that is going to happen on that fateful Sunday as you give us that voice, and we finish off this one with the highlights of what happened in the last edition of the Concours de Elegance.
Well, the judging category, like I said, this is basically about judging cars and motorcycles, classic and vintage cars and motorcycles. What we look at basically is presentation. We reward well-kept machines. As you know, cars go through a lot of wear and tear over the years, and what we try to do is to look at how well these cars have been preserved and prepared, and reward that. And the judging criteria basically looks at a number of things. For cars, the first judging station is the underside of the car.
Yes.
We are pleased to have Total Kenya sponsoring the judging ramp.
Yes.
And the cars drive over the ramp, and the judges go underneath and check the underside of the car in terms of the cleanliness, whether there are any oil leaks or water leaks and that sort of a thing. Then they go down the ramp to the second judging station,
Yes.
where the judges look at the exterior of the car, the external finish.
Yes.
This is basically the paint work, the chrome work, the rubbers, everything to do with the external finish of the car.
Yes.
And then moves on to the next station, where the judges look at the interior of the car, the condition of the upholstery, the roof lining, the floor mat, the dashboard, the instruments, everything on the interior.
Yes.
And then the next station is the engine compartment. Sorry, the interior also includes the boot. They also look at the condition of the boot, yes, how clean and how well kept it is. And then the next station is the engine compartment, where the judges will be concentrating on how clean the engine bay is, how well arranged it is, the condition of the wiring looms, whether there are any visible oil leaks and water leaks again. Then the last one is roadworthiness.
Yes.
It's just a small minor check where the judges look at how roadworthy the car is in terms of the condition of the tires and instruments like the lights, both headlights and tail lights, indicator lights, the horn, the wipers.
Yes.
And then the motorcycles is pretty much the same, but slightly shorter because there's nothing really like underside. So the judges look at the exterior finish. They look at the condition of the engine.
Yes.
They look at the upholstery and stuff like that. But we also have prizes for costumes. So we encourage competitors to come out in costumes. And the theme of a costume can either be related to the theme of the event,
Yes.
which is basically the sponsorship from CBA, which is a banking concept.
Yes.
Or the event is hosted at the Ngong Racecourse. So the theme can also be related to something to do with horse racing.
Yes.
Or you can have a costume that has a theme to do with your machine, your car or motorcycle.
Yes.
So there's judging also for that. And the points that one scores in the costume judging are added to the points that one scores in with the machine itself.
Yes.
And there's a separate category of awards called the Victor Ludorum Awards. The person who emerges with the top marks combined car plus costume or motorcycle plus costume is the winner of that category.
We'll be coming back to talk about more about the Concour de Elegance. I understand there are 2 cars actually at our parking lot here at KBC, and they are going to be giving us a sneak preview of what those cars are all about. Maxwell Wasike will be telling us that. We'll be going to a break with our feature of last year's edition of the Concour de Elegance. But for now, let's hear what this machine can do.
Now you
I
understand.
tell you, it was almost.
The 47th edition of the Concour de Elegance was just but a family affair as the Wilcox won the Best Team Car Awards. The event was set out at the Nairobi Singong Racecourse as the horses gave way for the vintage classic cars to have their day on this bright sunny day with the cheerful spectators, all with the anger of seeing the classic cars of all time. It was one of the most fought in the series, and the day went to the Wilcock family. Deacon Wilcock won the day with his 1934 Railton, finishing 1 point ahead of the 1952 MGTD sports car of his wife Julia Wilcock.
It's fantastic, you know, to get first and second was simply unexpected, but it's a wonderful feeling. It's really good.
What is the story behind the cars that you came with to these shows?
This was a coast car, and I've rebuilt it before. It has won before, but some time back. So now to win again in this car is even better, because you know the older they get, the harder it is to restore. I didn't do a complete rebuild this year, but it took me a long time to prepare it, and which is even more satisfying.
So, what next for you after Concour de Elegance and your cars?
I've got another car which I'm working on, but this type of car is still the best.
Are we going to be expecting you next year for another Concour de Elegance on September 30th?
If Bob Joe and CBA have their way, definitely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
The Wilcock family also had the satisfaction of winning the pre-1940 class, and his team won the Best Team Car Awards. In the motorcycle category, it was a heavyweight fight between Sati Jabal's 1925 DKW and the 1929 New Henley of South African boxer Bevan Beckman. It ended up being Sati Jabal winning with his 1925 DKW, finishing just 1 point ahead of the 1929 New Henley of Johannesburg-based Bevan Beckman.
This motorcycle was actually a last-minute decision. There was supposed to come another motorcycle. Unfortunately, it couldn't come up, so we had to build this one pretty quick to come up. And with the result we got, we're pretty chuffed.
Team South Africa, you came here with your friend with another Sunbeam 1935. This was another 1913. How does it feel going down with medals now?
That's what we aim for. We come here for, we know we're going to have good competition, so we bring our A game, and we're hoping to do better next year.
So, this motorcycle was in production for 2 years. There's a story of a journalist who came all the way from the UK to South Africa to look at this bike. How many are there, if you can guess, in the world today?
The exact number I can't put down, but in South Africa there's only one, this one. Around the world, I'm sure there are a few, but they very few and far apart. As you said earlier, we had a guy from the UK come to South Africa to see one for the first time.
So, how do you juggle between boxing and motorcycles? What is the hobby there?
Actually, the boxing is the hobby, even though it's professional. And so is the motorcycles. We just put a lot of time into everything that we do. We enjoy it.
Congratulations, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Veteran rally driver Ian Duncan was also a winner in the touring and truck category with his 1972 Ford Capri Racing Sports Coupe. Duncan won his class and received an award for achieving a high standard of preparation. Second place went to the 1975 Mitsubishi Colt Lancer of Alpine Auto Parts. This car was built by the late rally driver Joginder Singh. Fergus Robley was third in his Alfa Romeo GTA. In the multiple car entries, it was Tumaini Muthiga who won the class of utility with his gleaming blue 1965 Chevrolet pickup and took second place in the up to 3000cc touring car class with his 1967 Ford Taunus. Gailing May's 1967 Alfa Romeo Sprint, a regular winner for many years in the series, took home first position. Stephen Warui's 1968 Volkswagen Combi was third in this category.
Tell us a bit about this particular car, where you got it from and when was that?
This was my grandfather's car. He bought it brand new from CMC Motors for 8,000 shillings.
8,000 shillings?
Yes.
When was that?
In late 50s.
Okay.
Then he paid, it was a loan, he paid for it for about 5 years and fully completed. So when he got some problems with his joints, he could no longer drive it, and he parked it for like 4 or 5 years, and it got vandalized.
As we can see right here.
Basically it was rotten.
So what gave you that motivation to decide, you know what, I am going to modify this car?
Actually, I did not modify it. I restored it.
Okay.
And the reason when...
The difference between modifying and restoring it?
Modifying is when people come and put in like Subaru engines, put in different parts from what the car left the factory with. Maybe to enhance performance or to look more appealing for whatever reason. That's modifications. Restoration is like, say, this window. You go look for a replica, exact, that looks like the way it left the factory. That's restoration. The restoration process was slow, very slow, because first I restored it to a moving vehicle, and then slowly you do one thing at a time. So
how long did it take you to like restore it completely to what it is right now?
To what it is right now, it took me 3 years.
3 good years.
It was an event that saw local car lovers compete with their international counterparts. The Concour d'Elegance is organized annually by the Alfa Romeo Owners Club and sponsored by CBA for the 6th year this season. For The Touchline, I'm Robert Osoro.